I have the power.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hey, everybody. Here we are again for another episode of Breaking Glass, a podcast for glass blowers, by glass blowers, and this is a special one. It's 420.
Happy
And
420.
Yeah. My name's Kevin Beecher.
Yes, he is Kevin Beecher. No,
And he's Josh Mazet. We've been drinking margaritas with some Patron. We got some fresh blackberries and
Blackberries?
Yeah. The
Nice.
big blackberries,
Nice.
whatever they called.
I thought it was mostly strawberries.
No, strawberries, blackberries, Patron, a little orange juice, some triple sec, and some
Yeah,
mix.
they're delicious.
I mix them up. But
we're definitely like on our fourth one at least.
oh, way more than that. Wait, this is our third pitcher, so fourth one, yeah.
Yeah, probably, okay, maybe going far.
You're a little off on your numbers, plus a couple beers in between.
Hey, we've been keeping busy.
But so yeah, we got packed episode here today because it's like exciting all around. We got on with Don Chili, and he's doing like this East-West Coast kind of
Like a live 420 Instagram event trying to pull in a bunch of artists from
so yeah, he had different artists. He had 12 or 13 artists,
Yeah,
something like that, different time slots, and we had like a half an hour at 5:40. I guess we're gonna go out later tonight, even maybe hop.
Yeah,
back
we'll
on.
probably hop back on there later
He'll
tonight.
be pretty drunk by then, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
he started it. He got it all going, and basically he had just people come on doing what they're doing. They're in their shops doing demos, or like we did. We were actually trying to do something where we could we were trying to think how we could do like behind the scenes live footage. So we sat here and just kind of did our podcast. Well, we just talked to him, but before we did the podcast, so it was kind of behind the scenes. We had a bunch of glass in front of us like we do, and his idea was that all these artists were going to get together, be on for like so much time, and then hold up some glass, try to sell some glass virtually for 420. So we played our part, did it. It was fun. Our buddy here, or hopefully Jeremy, will maybe try to, I don't know, pop a couple little videos.
Yeah, you'll get to
it.
see a little bit of that. But just what before we go in before we go too much into anything else, we just want to like encourage you to stay until the end of the video today. We had a special guest on. It's Kevin's wife Michele, who is a public health nurse for Pennsylvania, and we just kind of chatted with her about everything that's going on.
And we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. But we just wanted to let you
stuff.
know as early on in the show to be sure to hang around for that. And then, of course, if you're enjoying the show, hit that like button and subscribe on that, or smash that subscribe button because, yeah.
Well,
what else are you doing?
Send us questions for one. We love to answer questions at the mailbag.
Yes.
We check our website out. It's got all the info on there. We're on Instagram and Facebook. Like I said, and my wife will be on earlier. We just pre-recorded that, had her on, had a margarita with her, and she talked for 15 minutes. She basically just broke down a bunch of information about the whole virus and how she felt about it, and she's definitely on the front lines working with it.
She pretty much said it was all the Republicans' fault, if I remember
pretty much
right.
is that's what I got out of
That's
it.
what I remember.
She's not gonna like that. But okay, so hey, let's start the show with what we got going on, which really same thing you guys got going on. We're staying at home. We're not doing a whole lot. I've been doing a lot of yard work, cutting trees down, getting my gardens ready, mowing grass, trying to blow some glass, and really not going out to eat.
Yeah.
Drinking a lot.
A lot of drinking, a lot cooking at home.
Drinking.
Patty's been gone for about 6 days.
Yeah, she was here for quite some time. That's why we had all of our glass set out here from the Don Chili thing. And, we had like some of the cool pieces that, me, you, and her made this piece.
Yeah.
And this is like matching Sherlock, which is pretty tight.
Some of Patty's fucking awesome galaxy marbles on there. Some
marbles.
tentacles.
This thing weighs like 4 pounds, man.
Totally.
This thing probably weighs like 2 pounds. This thing's just as heavy almost. So yeah, we pop some stuff out, and
I'll send you some nice pictures of those from the photo booth.
Yeah, maybe we could throw some stuff, some photos of some of the pieces.
Yeah, we kept busy with Patty. We got to the almost have completed the marble chess set. We didn't.
We did. You guys got a lot of that done.
Yeah,
I got to make
almost
the kings
all
and
of
the
it.
queens.
Yeah,
yeah. Theirs are a little more time consuming.
I know. Yeah,
I got one king done.
Yep, totally. So
But yeah, we made a black and white marble chess set.
It's going to be really nice once we get that piece. We'll be working with Fisher on that.
Yeah, get the chessboard made.
Yep.
I know we got a couple weeks here, like I think beginning of May, we plan on going up to Melt and working on cabins for like 2 months or 2 weeks. Sorry,
2 weeks. I'm not staying a day over 2 weeks, and I'm taking a couple days off while I'm up there too. I'm gonna like 1 day or two. I'm gonna be like, I'm not working today. I'm gonna let my body recover. And
he's an old man.
I'm fucking old man. I'm fucking deserve it. We're the only 2 people that will be up there from the first day to the last day. You know that.
Yeah.
It will only be us. So it's only fair to be like 1 day, and I'll cook that day. I'll do something, but there might be. I'm definitely taking a day off this time. I need one during the 2 weeks. It's ridiculous.
It's just one of those things. You're up there. What do you do? We're just hanging boards. It sucks. It's work, but it's gonna pay off. We're getting a deal on the 4
weeks of recovery last time. We again, you and me were the only ones that are there every day. We worked the day, So not that everybody did great work, but I'm definitely taking a break this time when we're up there 1 day.
Yeah, we can just play cornhole day. We should we need to go fishing one day.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like a day fishing and just try to chill and figure out.
I wouldn't doubt when we're up there, like in the beginning of May. They're probably gonna have mushrooms popping up in those woods. So they're behind us by like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
because their temperature changed. So man, they're gonna probably be nice hunting up there at that time. So yeah, I have to go go do some mushroom hunting. I haven't been finding shit in my property. I'm getting this week. I had a logger come in and we're starting to log some of the property. I need a new septic tank, so we're cutting some trees down, selling some trees. Gonna get a new septic tank put in, which I'm not looking forward to, but it's gonna be nice when it's done. We need that.
yeah, will be nice.
We've been out in the shop watching TV.
Yeah,
we crushed out fucking Waco yesterday. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Yeah, it's a 2018 series.
Is that
from
what it is?
Yeah, it's 2018.
Really
it's on
well
Paramount.
done.
Really well done.
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon, John Leguizamo.
The main guy, I forget his name, but
he's
in a bunch of movies.
He has a pretty good.
He played John Carter in that Disney
resume.
Yeah, there you go. He got the thing up for it.
Yeah,
it's a 6-part Netflix. Is it from Netflix or
Taylor
it was from
Kitsch
the Paramount?
And Rory Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
6-part series, really well done. If you don't, this happened when I was like just.
It was like 93.
Yeah, 93. I was just out of high school and.
Yeah, I was still in high school.
Yeah, and it was big national news, and I didn't follow it, as closely as
You're a kid.
You only follow it so closely, but definitely when you watch this, you see a different perspective on it, and you see,
it changed all my life growing up thinking about this, and you talk, Waco. I always thought you're thinking like Jonestown, a bunch of psychos that killed themselves and committed suicide. That's what I think the most people think, that they were just a bunch of psychos that killed themselves.
Yeah, just religious zealots.
This show does not show that.
Yeah, no, this gives it very much more sympathetic to their side, and it makes a bunch of suggestions that should be able to be proved by fact, like the fact that the federal government fired the first shot and it was caught on television. At least that's the claim of the movie.
Yeah, the movie.
So that'd be a pretty big claim to make and not be able to back that up.
The ATF came in there and just started shooting them, and they just shot back, and then it just turned into this war.
Totally, yeah.
And it lasted like months. It was like crazy. It was like 2 months.
Yeah, 51 days or something. But anyway, yeah, very, very good. Out on Netflix right now.
Yeah, we crushed it out yesterday. We started. He walked out of the shop, and I was like, I always wanted to see this. He's like, yeah, that does look good. Right. I was like, we just started, and then literally 6 hours later, we're like, damn, we just watched that whole entire series.
Yeah,
that was wild. And then we started watching old cartoons. Well, we watched this He-Man documentary, which I'm a huge He-Man collector.
Totally forgot about that.
And we started watching that, and it was like an hour and a half long, which really good on Netflix also. Mm-hmm. It was just basically, it just broke down the entire history of He-Man and like the comic book and the cartoon and the toys and everything. And then what's that? Is the Power of Grayskull? Is that it?
That is the definitive history of
He-Man.
It
goes into She-Ra. It does the whole freaking thing for He-Man. And then after that, we just started talking about all the different cartoons we used to watch. And
I wonder if more people know about He-Man or Waco.
Probably He-Man.
It's the same time period.
I would almost think He-Man. He-Man's came out like 83. Was what I think they even said it was like 83.
Totally.
I was only like 7. I was like 7 years old.
I'd like to do one of those like man on the street questionnaires, and you just have to ask like 20 people and see what the average.
Do you know about Waco, Texas?
Do
you know about He-Man?
Do you know about He-Man?
Like, I have the power. like that'd be awesome. We should do that.
Yeah, that'll be like our Well, we need to start working on our man on the street series.
Yeah, one of these episodes we're gonna have to bust out all the He-Man guys, set them up, have a big battle
distancing
scene. Jeremy, you could bring your guys. You have some guys you can add into the mix. You had some He-Man guys too.
What's your favorite He-Man character, Jeremy?
Yeah, tell us.
We were talking about.
Yes! Oh, yeah, Trapjaw.
That's what I said. I said Trapjaw was my favorite.
Dope,
dude. He's
He had some
badass.
shit. I liked him and Web
that
Store
jaw
were cool.
and anything with multiple things where you could switch up always was great.
The cowboy where all the guns came out of his
Oh, that was a quick draw.
Oh, I
quick
don't
draw.
know, yeah.
Quick draw. That was his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually a newer character. He came in later in the scene. He was later down the line. He was actually one of those guys that was never in the cartoon.
Yeah.
It was like after. It was one of those
Okay.
after the fact characters they made. But I have him. Yeah, I got that character.
Yeah, Trapjaw was definitely my favorite. And then I also liked Manny Faces, and I actually always had a spot for Ram Man in my heart. The mechanics of that character.
He was always
even
like-
though he's awkward.
It was like
I
he was
just
like Rocky, like
yeah.
just fucking all the time in the cartoon. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
get
they
him,
really-
He-Man."
yeah, they really made
He was such a momo. But
But
I like my
figure-
He-Man guys.
Yeah.
So we watched that, and then that kind of just took us onto a rabbit hole where we just started watching. I was like, "You ever hear of Mask?" And he's like, "Nah, not
Nope.
really." I was like, "Did you ever hear of Inhumanoids?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "Did you ever hear of this?" And we Centurions. So we went into all those and started watching those different cartoons. Which the comics, we even said, like, even He-Man, like, the way they drew him, the animation was actually decent.
Some of that animation
But it was,
on that.
it was crude, but it was definitely...
And the animation, well, and that was the thing that we did learn from the documentary. I can't believe we're talking about He-Man as much, but the documentary said that the cartoon series that was that we grew up on was actually filmed on live action, and that's why so much of their animation. And it was that stock footage that you saw. You saw the way he ran across the screen, and it was like those scenes that were in every He-Man, but those were originally drawn over live action and not.
Well, they
all,
showed the actors.
They showed some of the original actors and stuff.
It had them all pose and draw.
It was pretty interesting. Oh yeah, there's Mask.
And we watched an episode of that.
I like that
first
chopper.
episode.
That chopper motorcycle. It's definitely.
Yeah.
I dig that.
They all had the cheesy mask and, like you said, the hocus pocus and hocus pocus on. He's so cheesy, dude. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Anyway, that was what we've been doing. That's all we've been doing, people. We've made very few pieces of glass in the last week. It's been a lot of stupid television.
Yeah, I didn't make a bunch. I took lots of. There was one day I took a little over 600 photos, and then I worked on getting a bunch of stuff on the website this week. So that's been.
And now we have no ambitions into, like, nothing happened. Everything's canceled. So we got.
Are you guys all feeling that? Are you just feeling that, like, fucking suck of, like, ambition?
GFO's canceled. Champs is canceled. The other Champs is canceled. The Michigan Glass Project's canceled. So right now, melt's up in the air.
Yeah,
it's like we don't know what's going to happen. We are totally hoping that this thing completely peaks and starts coming down by July.
But
and
we're
then
not
hopefully we're on the downward trend. And then we're still going to have to be like,
we're not
Jesus.
making. We're lucky. We have an entire another month before we don't have to even really decide until June. We're so fortunate. But even so we can make our prediction then. I can tell you that the one glass event that I was supposed to attend in April that did postpone is now saying that they want to run it in July. I love those people, but I think it's crazy. I don't want to go to Las Vegas in July. I definitely don't want to fly there. We normally do that show with my brother and my mom. I wouldn't want my mom to go to Vegas in July. Oh, that's ridiculous.
Champs had Vegas in July.
Yeah.
Okay, they canceled that.
But they said that they canceled, but it wasn't their choice.
Well, they said it wasn't their choice.
Las Vegas is turning the convention center into a temporary
I'm
hospital.
surprised that place is saying, Vegas is saying that it's okay to have the event.
I know. I just feel like they're under some type of pressure because they really feel like they have to have that show. But the show, that particular show, most of the people that attend are 50 or older, and I mean 50 is even generous. I'd say most of the people that attend are 60 and older. They're retirees, and it's like that is not a great time for people to, with any type of condition, to try to make it.
Well, hopefully we're on the downward.
Yeah, we just
spiral.
Well, I don't think we're on the downward. I think we're at the top.
No,
of the
I'm saying
hill.
hopefully by then.
Yeah, hopefully
we'll
by
be
then.
starting to come down. And hopefully by time we hit August, everything's kind of like, oh, it's getting back to normal.
Yeah.
Everything's opening and back up, and we'll see. I mean,
we'll see.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I mean, as of now, I mean, we're still hoping that we can have melt. I mean, the ticket sales have completely freaking plateaued. I mean, we had a big surplus there. We're like, oh my god, this is our best year ever for people signing up early, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just stopped.
Yeah,
and it's like I understand nobody wants to drop their money right now because they don't know what's going to happen or everything, but when this all picks up back up or whatever, it might be good. We might actually have everybody was like, oh shit, everything's been canceled. Melt's still going on. That's the last thing this year. So maybe we might have a big party this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's definitely one of those things that could be that perfect storm type of thing where it's like it's the first event that can really be held. And again, it's just there's a certain limitation. We're not gonna have over 1,000 people. We're not gonna have over 500 people. I'll tell you that right there.
Melt's usually 2.
We're not
250,
doing that. That's not an option
in that area.
Yeah.
So.
So
And there again, we're going to be in the middle of nowhere. It's just a matter of people coming in.
yeah,
But
it's not like
hopefully-
you have to like come to Melt and then go to the restaurant. You're limiting your exposure by coming to an event that's closed campus. So, but I mean, it's risky. It's still risky.
We'll get Calvin, and maybe we'll have like a thermometer crew. Just walks around, and shoots people in the head with one of those thermometer guns.
Well, that doesn't sound as fun as what I was thinking. But if you think that's the way,
we could do it the old school way. We could have a tent set up outside the glass tent. Just be like the thermometer tent
with a milking table.
Yeah, milking table. Well, instead of turning around face first, you
Just
ass down.
Yeah, ass down.
Ass down. Yep. Temperature up.
Just step on a pedal.
That's the way we like to take your temperature.
Yep. Totally. That just as you come in to get your ticket.
Let us know how you feel about that. If
Yeah,
you guys are into that, I mean, we can set this up. I mean, we got some dirty son of a bitches that'd probably be all about it.
Yeah.
Calvin, that's your job. All right. Well, so moving on. Let's do our giveaways. We have a couple giveaways.
Oh, yeah. We've got giveaways. Let me just pull up those names real quick on here.
All right. So we have the 2 giveaways. We have our first coronavirus one we did a little bit back. We never announced, which you're going to get some.
We never announced it because we haven't done an episode since Patty's episode.
We've been busy. So
We've actually made a point. Actually, if you run back 10 minutes in the episode, I think we were saying we've been doing nothing. But
well, we haven't had nothing to do. It's the same shit every week. We've been here. I've been literally doing nothing. I've been taking care of a fucking puppy and mopping my floors every day, and it's just damn. It's like the days just bleed into one another, and it's just like it's Groundhog
I
Day.
picked these.
Okay, so this person's gonna win the
this
lucky
is for
one.
Lucky.
So you get
and this guy knows Lucky too because when I looked it up,
a pendant, you get a pipe that are both seashells. You get a sticker pack. You get a 4-pack of freaking strong and soft
toilet paper.
Ply,
Yep.
deep 2-ply.
Thank you, Josh, for donating.
And you get
my own personal stuff.
You get some there's mask or whatever.
Yep, an N519.
And then
mask.
another one of the
totally protect you
ones.
from facials. Yes.
So
all right, and the winner is Oregon Savage 503.
All right. So
yeah, congratulations.
Which
Lucky apparently, or Lucky follows you. I noticed today on your.
Do you know how to get a hold of him, or we'll get a hold of you? Or
he's on Instagram, Oregon Savage 503. So.
All right. Well, you're the big winner of that. And then the next one we have. Where's the marble? We got this.
Yep.
Nice.
Sweet.
This is from Patty's
Galaxy
episode.
marble with some.
And yeah, she
sweet
donated.
Dichro and Black Galaxy.
I think
from
she even
North
put
Star.
some pictures on her.
Oh yeah,
site of this.
Totally.
So yeah, you can see it on there, but I mean, it's gonna be hard to see it from here. Maybe we'll send you a picture so he can put it up. But
yep, and that's going to Brownstone Bill Glass on Instagram.
Brownstone Bill Glass, congratulations.
Congratulations, Bill. And then if you know who you are that won Justin's, you should send us a message because we announced Justin's winner on a couple episodes back, and we haven't heard from that person yet.
Here's Brownstone Bill.
Yeah.
You can put it up.
I'm gonna have to.
Oh, he's a Salem Community College glass art program.
Yep, totally. Yep.
Oh, nice. So he's definitely gonna be able to get a hold of us.
Yeah, he'll be easy to get a hold of. Brownstone. But again, we actually did
what
announce.
What is Brownstone Bill? We want to know how you got that name, Brownstone Bill. Because Brownstone to me is like Guns N' Roses Dance with Mr. Brownstone. That's like heroin.
Oh wow!
He's been dancing with Mr.
True.
Brownstone.
Well, yeah, Bill. If you want to out yourself as a heroin junkie, just come on and
let us know.
Let us know, or if it's about your parents' house in Boston, because I think there's Brownstones in New York or Boston. Yes, so yeah, one of the two.
It's a curious name.
Yes. But yeah, and also I do want to shout back out to the person that won the Justin Gallant giveaway, which was one of Justin's awesome marbles and a Nuggifier jar. We announced it a couple episodes back, but we have not heard from that particular winner. And I can't remember your name off the top of my head. We're going to go back and review the episode. But if you're hearing this.
And Brownstone Bill, hey, just so you know, you're a Salem Community College person. We're looking for interns this year for Melt, and we like to offer that to Salem Community College kids. And seeing how we didn't get to come to Salem this year because it was canceled, we didn't get a chance to fill all those slots in. So, hey.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a shout out to any of you Salem kids that are watching the show. We
let all your Salem friends know.
Yeah, we're looking for interns this year for the for Melt, and we're not totally age discriminatory, but we definitely are not taking anybody that I consider or Kevin consider a mid-career glass artist. This is for people that are entering the glass world. We're trying to make an opportunity for them.
We always try to explain this as an intern. We don't want people that I don't want somebody older than me.
Yeah,
for
we're
one,
not.
that I have to tell my elder that they have to crawl into the table and hook this shit up. It's like something I'm like, fuck, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
I just don't want to tell
That's
somebody.
what happens in that
And
situation.
we want young kids that are new into it, that are hungry, that actually want to get into the game, and it's a good way to get into the game. So, yeah. You're a winner, so hopefully, pass that knowledge on to your friends. We have a couple other moles in the crew there that are.
Yeah, we got some people coming. Yeah, we actually already have another bill on this year for an intern, and we'll have some more people coming.
You could be Bill too.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he's throwing some Melt stuff up there. Sweet.
Nice. Summer Camp in the Poconos. Oh, that's our proper dates there. The 7th to the 11th, 2020.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
this year's?
That's this year's dates. Yeah, September 7th to the 11th. It's very early in September. It's going to be an interesting call on how that all goes down.
It's crazy because
So-
it falls on Memorial Day or Labor Day? Sorry.
Well, no, Labor Day actually falls this year on a Monday or something.
But isn't it the
weird.
7th?
So, no, it's the 1st.
Oh no, it's the day we get there.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's the way we get there. That's why we have this unusual date this year.
No,
So
no, it always is. Labor Day is on the 1st. It's usually on the 1st.
It
second.
always is, but since
We usually leave to go up there the 1st. I think it actually falls on the first day of Melt this year. Isn't it? Look it up. Tell us.
No, either way,
When's
I
Labor
had
Day
to
this
actually speak to the owner and to Brody about scheduling so I know what the story is.
When's Labor
And
Day?
The deal is that we're lucky to get it on the 7th this year. We're bumping Rush Camp.
Tell us, Red. You're the guy.
Well, hey, again, just hit us up with some questions in the mailbag. Let us know what you're up to during this quarantine. Send us some talking points if there's anything you want to be brought up to date on that we didn't cover. We're still working on our Boro News interview. I
guys all
almost
noticed
hate to say it.
That's back on. Boro News is back
Boro
on.
News is back on. I think we did announce it a few weeks ago that Boro News was back. It seems. I'm endorsing it as the authentic, original Boro News, even though there's no 100% way to know that.
Well, they're
'cause
slow on it.
is
They're not
anonymous.
pumping them out like they were.
Yeah, well, they've been re-releasing their old posts and then just sprinkling some in. I was kind of hopeful that, oh, wow, with quarantine, even if you have families and kids, you are still going to have a little bit of time to, pump up some new ones. I thought that might happen, and it's not a criticism. I just was like, oh, yeah, we might actually see them come back. But they're re-releasing the old ones, and we are working on doing some type of interview with them right now. So I'm just going to put it out there now. I can't promise that it's actually going to happen, but if you have...
Labor Day is on the 7th, see? The first day.
That was never an argument.
That's what you just
No,
said.
what? No, actually, I'm not going to have this conversation with you
did
right
not
now.
say that.
No, that's not what I said.
You did.
No.
You can back that foot.
No, what I said is that because of whatever's going on, I had to schedule this
And I'm saying,
specifically with the owner
normally,
to remove somebody else.
Labor Day starts the day we go
Anyway,
up for the
yeah,
camp.
it's not like I was
This
talking
year,
about something
Labor Day
else.
is the first day of Melt this year. So Melt will be
Good.
the first day of Labor Day. Or the Labor Day will be the first day of Melt. Sorry, the way that is. So the day one, orientation, everything, that is Labor Day.
Yeah.
So we'll just have
We're just lucky it's early this year because that's not the weekend we're supposed to have it. That would be Rush's weekend normally. But we have the second weekend of September.
It's because it's a
locked
leap
in.
year, I think, right?
I have no idea.
Isn't this a leap year? Yeah, it is. Pretty sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, we're in a leap year.
I was talking about
Hey,
something,
whatever.
but I don't remember.
What do you want to talk about?
I wanted to complete my sentence.
Well, tell us, motherfucker. You're drinking margaritas.
I don't know. I was talking about something. I really don't remember what it
Exactly.
was. Yeah. Totally.
We're watching Conan the Barbarian in the background.
Yeah.
So today, what did you think about? We'll go back to the COVID stuff. What do you think about those protests up in Harrisburg? We were talking about this with Shelly, but she didn't really get into it. And you've been seeing in Michigan, where Minnesota.
All those places that are protesting, I'm definitely not in support of it, and I'm definitely not in support of the president trying to rally them through his tweets
And I saw
and
in
that
Florida
Twitter
they
platform.
reopened beaches.
They've reopened beaches, and I actually want to be like a person that would say, I don't think beaches need to be closed. Like the beach is the place where I think of like there's always been a social distance. I don't want my towel on the beach within 6 feet. I want to be like,
I'm like
10,
that
15
too.
feet.
But
10,
when they
15,
show
20
those
feet away from
photos
something.
everybody's like side
Yeah,
by
once
side
they
and,
get
like,
packed on the beach, yeah, then it's a problem. But I would like to think that people could go to the beach and still maintain distance. I mean, if you're in a place where the population, then, I mean, I guess if you're in a place where it's so packed and that many people want to get to the beach, then that's unhealthy. But
Well,
I want to believe in a world where people could like find space on the beach.
Today up in Harrisburg, like I said, it was shameful to see those people. And the what stood out to me the most, and like the person was walking around with the camera doing live feeds with all these protesters on the right, like where we did the photo. Remember we did the photo from Breaking Glass? We went up to Harrisburg for Sean's thing.
Yeah.
That's where they were all at, right on those steps. And you could just hear like multiple people like just coughing in the background. Nobody was wearing masks. Everybody's just side by side. Everybody's shaking hands and fucking tapping like and jumping around and holding each other's shoulders.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? That dude coughing's freaking me out. And then all of a sudden the next person's coughing. It's like everybody's coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
and that's
Living
the
with
thing.
my wife, like
There's
I said,
going to be
she has me so scared. She has us so scared.
Yeah, there will be a ripple effect of that in in the next 14 days, and like we said, most of those people will not have the courage to like acknowledge it, even if it happens.
They'll be like, "Oh, I got this from freaking
yeah.
a Mexican freaking coming across the border, freaking trying to take my job."
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like one of those great things. It's like a lot of those people whose political affiliations are conservative they're all about, like when it's Black Lives Matter, it's like, well, why don't you just obey authority? When it's the people coming over the border, it's like, well, why don't you just obey authority? And it's like, oh, well, now I don't want to obey authority because it's inconvenient to me. And fuck those guys.
All I know is in the last fucking month, and I've added a lot of people, but I have thinned my Facebook page by like 100 some people. Like I just deleting people left and right just because what else do you do? It's like if I see somebody just write some dumbass shit, I'm like, I don't even know why. I mean, I'm not friends with. I don't know these people. Most of these people, there's like hundreds or thousands of people in there. I don't know a lot of them, but some people post the dumbest shit. Like I can't believe some of the dumbest shit coming out. Well, you're putting up stuff about COVID. You see Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz. It's like, why the fuck are they on television telling people about all this shit? Like they're not goddamn fucking doctors in that way.
Yeah, they're not
like they're
doctors
fucking TV personalities. They have zero freaking case.
Wow, that's pretty serious. So we got 500 to 1,000 cases in this county.
In Franklin County? Franklin County's got a lot.
Is that which one is it down
I don't
there?
know where.
Is it that one? The little,
That's us right there.
so that's saying there, I'm guessing that's 500 to 1,000 cases, right, Jeremy? So,
Dude, Pennsylvania has like, what, 29,000 total?
yeah. Well,
Looks like 500 to 1,000.
yeah.
No, I'm saying, but Pennsylvania has like over almost 30,000 cases.
It's still spiking.
Yeah, it's still spiking. That's what I'm saying. We're hearing like every day. Like 2 days ago, my wife said, she's like, this was our worst day in Pennsylvania yet. But the news, like these people protesting are like, we need to go back to work. The governor's killing us. And like the governor's just doing his fucking job, man.
He's trying to
just
save
trying to save
yeah.
people. He's trying to save face for sure. He wants to get reelected, but he's not trying to do this to save money for him, like make money for him. It's all about him doing what's right for the people. And all these people out there protesting are like, they're just killing us and doing us and taking our jobs and we need to work. Who's going to come to your fucking store? You know, it's just like nobody's coming to your store. I understand the fight with some of it. Like some stores, like they're letting all the big box name stores, Walmart and the grocery stores and all these places stay open. And rightfully so, you need to get groceries. Some people, which good friends of ours, are saying, their Lowe's is talking about, and the Home Depot, they're talking about shutting down like certain departments. Like you don't need this, you don't need that. And they're saying, oh, you don't need the plants and the flowers. Well, yeah, you do, because people are planting flowers and gardens right now, and it's like, what else the fuck you got to do is plant flowers and gardens?
Yeah. People
People need gardens because some people can food and need to eat and whatnot. But they have to have it shut down. Like if it wasn't shut down the way it is, this thing would be way bigger. Everybody's like, oh, it's not as big as what it is. It's because everybody is staying home.
Oh yeah, that's what's kept it down. I just we've seen a real like small. You haven't seen a lot of cases in the central part of the country, and I think that's what will most likely happen is if they pull back restrictions on gatherings, that you'll see a real bump in those flyover states. I mean, that's what they're freaking name is flyover states. It means not as many people are going there, and they just didn't have as much exposure. And I think if they really back off on those, you could see some of those states in the middle of the country really getting hit more. So, but yeah, I have no idea.
Well,
Just observational.
yeah, like I said,
from
that's
us,
like
yeah.
well, look at that one meat packing plant in South Dakota, like
yeah.
Sioux City or whatever, like 300. They all it was like
I think
close. It was between 350 and 400 cases in one meat packing
factory.
facility.
Yeah,
But that was one of the states, Republican, that wouldn't shut their borders down, and they refused. They still haven't. They still haven't shut it down.
they actually paid people a bonus to keep working
Yeah,
through
and
that.
they don't realize
Yeah.
all them people that work there. If you take 300, just say 300 people. 300 people go home to 300 families, then those 300 families, every one of those people is considered infected after that. Then those people go out about their normal lives because they're not quarantined. And then, I mean, dude, that's just, you wait. It hasn't even been a week yet. So give that another week and see how that whole situation plays out. That might be just like a powder keg ready to
Oh yeah,
freaking
that
explode.
it could be an explosion. Out
And they
there.
still haven't shut the freaking thing down. So,
Yeah.
yeah, there it is. 300 after 300 workers test positive, but it's been more than that since then.
Yeah,
That's like an original headline.
yeah, Smithfield. It's like a huge.
That was the bacon. Yeah, it's where I eat Smithfield bacon all the
Mm-hmm.
time. You know, it's like one of those bacons I eat. I don't want to eat it now. Fuck, everybody's got that shit. I guess if you freeze it, it might be okay. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know how that shit works.
I'm not sure how it works on the.
We didn't ask Shelly
Yeah.
about that. If it needs to be cold or hot, we should.
Yeah, don't forget we got that interview with Shelly
Yeah,
coming up
at the end of this
there.
episode
We got
coming
some-
up. We'll have we have like 15 minutes of my wife telling us
Yeah.
basically facts. I didn't really have a lot to say because I don't know what she was talking about.
Yeah,
she explained it, but
we just tried to feed her some questions, gave her an opportunity to enlighten us on some stuff. So yeah, I thought she had good information. She usually does.
yeah.
So
So anyway, what else? Anything else? Anything positive?
mm,
I got a puppy still. She's
Yeah.
crazy. I've been dealing with that a lot. Trying to get some garden done. You got anything positive, Red?
Been eating a lot of mushrooms.
You've been eating a lot of mushrooms,
what kind?
like portobellos,
The good ones.
Good, that's nice.
portobellos, shiitake.
Yeah.
They get you fucking wasted, dude. You eat enough of them. I've been hunting morels, and like it's tell you what, this weather's so jacked right now. I mean, I've been out. What I found about 15 maybe total in like a couple days of hunting, and like one day I found like 9, and like some days I'll go out there and find like 100, 150 just right in my backyard. They're just out there, but the weather's been so jacked. I mean, we're in the end of April almost. We're going into the end of April, and I just saw at the camp up at Independent it snowed. They got like 6 inches of snow like 3 or 4 days ago.
That sucks.
That's what Brody was like. He put the picture up, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I just had my laughing emojis the whole way across. I know Jeff was on there going like, "You better start mowing." You know, it's just like a joke, and everybody's like, "But they're literally just got snow."
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's crazy. We've had some rain, we've had some warm weather, but it's been like freezing one night, then 70 degrees the next day. So it's killing our mushrooms, man. I'm killing me. I don't know. It sucks. Other than that, and I don't really got many more chances to go hunt them. We only got a couple more days.
Yeah.
Normally, there again, it could all be the seasons have shifted so much. So, all right. Well, you got anything else you want to add to this one?
Nothing I can think
Like I
of.
said,
I think I'm
we're gonna after this is over, he's gonna put my wife on with her little interview, and then yeah.
Yeah, just quick reminder to get those questions in to mailbag@breakingglass.show. We, like, or they don't have to be questions. Just hit us up. Let us know what you've been doing during this quarantine, and be sure to be following us on Instagram, breaking_glass_podcast.
We've been going lately. We've been going live on there a good bit, playing. Being dumb. We're just getting drunk and bowling at like 3 a.m.
But if you want to hang out with us,
You want to ask some questions and watch us be drunk and bowl. It's fun.
yes.
And yeah, check us out. We have Facebook, Breaking Glass Show, and we have our website has everything on it. So if you just go to breakingglass.show, and that'll pretty much have all that stuff on there. So yeah, all right, man.
All right.
Well, we're gonna go back to doing nothing. Gonna order some pizza and probably go out to the shop and maybe do a live feed tonight
Yeah.
and do some bowling. And other than that, we'll probably be too drunk to blow glass.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of glass blowing happening right now.
All right. Well, until next time.
Take care,
we'll
everybody.
see
Be
ya
safe.
later.
Yeah.
So just so you guys all know, this is my lovely wife, Michelle. She is a community health nurse for the Department of Health for Pennsylvania. So we thought we'd have her on since we always been talking about, well, we're in quarantine and we're talking about quarantine, and all three of us are pretty much stuck together all the time. So
Ouch.
she's
I'm
working
sorry.
from
There's
home.
a puppy biting my foot.
Oh, sorry.
Ow.
Yeah, we got a puppy. So yeah, she is basically working from home now. She's investigating a whole lot of this stuff about coronavirus. So yeah.
Every day.
What would you say your primary responsibility as a public health nurse is right now? I mean, it seems I know you have a lot going on, and so maybe that's too broad, but I mean, could you distill it into like what you kind of are responsible for right
Sure.
now?
So a community health nurse is essentially a public health nurse. If no one knows what that is, it encompasses a lot. So my primary function right now is the investigation of infectious diseases. That's all the time. Right now, the COVID-19 response is my sole responsibility. So we also give recommendations, what you should and shouldn't do. Give me a specific question.
Well, like so you're giving those recommendations, but it sounds like when I've had the opportunity to talk to you that those recommendations cover a pretty wide range, whether it's like sometimes it's for businesses with populations and sometimes it's downright to an individual.
Yes.
So how do those how do those come into your lap? Like who sends you that stuff to say we need you to talk to this company or this individual? Where does that source?
So I either get a call from the Bureau of Epidemiology to alert me of a positive case, but because the community transmission is so widespread, right now the processing lab will report it to us. I also have Zoom meetings. All of my meetings have been moved to home, which is a totally new experience for me.
Yeah, for real, for me too.
Yeah. So anyway, so much togetherness.
I'm actually shocked that she agreed to do this, guys.
This was spur of the moment.
Yeah.
I look like crap, but anyway, yeah.
Hey, easy dog.
It's okay. It's okay. So, for instance, I also have like all of my meetings when I was talking about my meetings. So, generally, infectious disease meetings, we have them in person. So, right now, we don't do that because you do not have to go anywhere. Keep your ass at home. That's the bottom line.
We were doing a lot. Like, I mean, I know you through the day. I mean, she's on the phone all day long, and she's basically. You are the one that traces these diseases. So you talk to the people that get them, and then you find out who they've talked to, and it goes down the line. You investigate them.
Say I get a positive report. So whether that is from an infectious disease doc, one of the other nurses, we have a very large county. We have 2 large hospitals. We have 32 physician practices. We have, there are 4 urgent cares, and then you add the med expresses. So technically we have 6. That's a large county. The community transmission is so widespread right now that, yes, my phone does ring off the hook. Meetings have been moved to on the computer, which is interesting. But I start with, say I get a positive result, no matter where I get it from. Okay. First line of fire. Hi, I'm Michele Beecher. I'm a community health nurse. I am going to talk with you about your COVID-19 result. What was the onset of your symptoms? When did that start? So I don't have a calendar in front of me right now, but say your symptoms started on the 1st, okay? The person that actually has the positive result, active disease, coronavirus, COVID-19, you have to stay home for at least 7 days past the onset. Past 7 days, you cannot transmit the disease to others. However, case by case basis, if you have, say you're still febrile, meaning you still have a fever, you have to look at the last 72 hours of that time frame as feeling well. A lot of what people don't understand, I'm going to look like right at the camera at this. A lot of what people don't understand are the household contacts. So say your dad, your mom, I'm the kid. Dad has a positive result, but we still feel well. And they're like, well, I have to quarantine, Dad, you can go out 7 to 10 days after you've been, afflicted with the virus. Okay. I can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere because we still feel well.
Right.
The incubation period for this virus is anywhere between 2 to 14 days. Your body will shed the virus after 7 days. So you could transmit that to me on your last day of isolation. So I could be infectious for the next 14 days. Hence, the process just starts all over again. So a lot of people are like, well, why can't they go anywhere? They've been here with me this whole time. Because you could have transmitted that virus to me then.
And they don't have like a timeline of when
they got it,
even
or
if
when
all
they first
three of
saw
them are even if all three of them are showing symptoms now, if you don't have a timeline for them, then you have to presume that the other two that weren't tested came after.
Correct.
I mean,
and that's another big point of this too. Anybody that lives under the same roof as another individual that has a positive lab result, you can assume that they will get the virus.
Yeah.
You can show the symptoms that you hear on the news a lot. You hear, you have a high fever, you have body aches, you have a cough, you have a lot of people lose their sense of taste, their sense of smell. That is not always the case. I have spoken with a lot of young people, especially, that have little to no symptoms. So it's difficult to know. The virus is already mutated from when I started getting flight lists back in January up until now. I don't know, where are we at? Where it's April?
April, yeah.
Oh, happy
It's hard to pick the
420,
dates.
everybody. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Woo! Yeah.
That's what we're
anyway.
going to talk about at some point this show.
So,
Yeah.
so we hear in the news that there's like a shortage of tests. Where are most people getting, if they're being tested, where are they being tested? At the hospital, at their general practitioner? And do all of those test results go to, so like if somebody's, all the people that are testing in Chambersburg, if they have tests, do they have to be sent out of the county, or are they those tested
Yeah,
in?
there are actually no tests in our county that are performed in-house. These all go to a processing lab. Oftentimes, there are multiple processing labs. We use Quest primarily. There's a state lab. We're your last line of fire for testing at this point, because there's only 260 of me in the state.
Right.
So if you get tested at the hospital, you go home, you're on quarantine. That's another thing. If you get tested, go home and wait for your results. Don't go out because you feel okay. You could be an asymptomatic carrier and transmit it to others. So
Well, today on 420, how do you feel? We're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is about an hour from here. That's our capital. There was huge protests, just like all the other states, like Minnesota and Michigan. They had big protests, but there's one in Harrisburg today, and there's tons of people up there. Everybody's wearing Trump hats and "Make America Great Again," and they're blocking traffic, and they're in front of the courthouse. There's senators there, which I thought was crazy. I guess they're Republican senators from Pennsylvania.
I'm not going to involve politics. Governor Wolf or any of the other governors that have extended the stay-at-home order, it's not because he's doing this to hit the people that are hardworking American citizens. He's doing this to protect the people. There's a big misunderstanding, and it has nothing to do with Republicans or Democrats or the Trump hats or no Trump hats. This disease doesn't know the difference between a Trump hat or no Trump hat. So I think there's a lot of mix-ups and misunderstandings about that. I mean, as far as with your direct question,
Yeah, I was just wondering.
But
what
you
thought about it.
definitely, politics aside, you would not be in support of people
No.
getting out to protest
No.
this in groups right now. Is
No.
what it comes. Yeah,
and I mean, a
that's-
lot of the people that we've had, so how do I put this? Some of the cases that I've had even over the last few weeks, the news will say, oh, the curve is flattening. It's flattening. Let's go out. The Spanish influenza of 1918, the curve started flattening, meaning the numbers started going down, okay? So the numbers go down. People have been cooped up in their house. They want to go out. They want to celebrate. They want to hug. I'm a hugger. I was an ED nurse for many years before I came here. I've done all kinds of different things in nursing. It sucks because you can't hug. You can't go up to your buddy and be like, hey, dude, let's have a beer. Let's go over to mom's house. Let's visit our parents.
Right.
In 1918, when the Spanish influenza was present, Philadelphia, one of our hotspots, one of our big hotspots, thousands and thousands of people ill, thousands, people that are on vents, people that have died. And by the way, that's not just elderly people with pre-existing medical conditions or comorbidities. There are young people that are otherwise healthy. I know there are a lot of young people that are otherwise healthy that listen to your show. So take a little message from this, like, just please stay at home if you don't have to. But that curve has not flattened. So when that happened, the people of Philly, they were like, let's go out and have a parade. Like, we miss humankind.
Oh, yep.
And from that one parade, that one gathering, thousands of cases sprung up. The hospital beds were overflowed. Like, it's just foolish at this point. It sucks to be stuck at home. Kevin, I love you. I've been with you since I was 15 years old. But like a lot of togetherness is like too much.
Yeah.
But yet at the same time, it's almost like a disease. You feel like, you're a hamster on a wheel, and and the numbers go up and the numbers go down. So my advice is not that, oh, hey, I work with this one person. They were sick. I'm going to go get tested. No, this is important. If you were around that person from the date that their symptoms started, you're most infectious. Those people, if you were within 6 feet of them anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes, 2 days before the symptom onset, you can pretty much bank on they'll get the disease. So if you have somebody that's that you've come into contact with, unless you're dying, okay, and that's coordinated with, hospitals, and my hospitals here are on the ball. They know what they're doing. Then you stay at home. The testing, everybody's talking about, let's ramp up testing. We need more tests. You do need more tests. However, what we need right now are individuals that have been afflicted with the virus that can provide, they've built up antibodies, just the same as when you're vaccinated with, and
Well, I noticed you asked that question a lot to people when you're talking to them. Will you be willing to donate plasma? Is that what you do?
Not in a roundabout, not that question exactly, no. But I mean, there are research hospitals and lots of places that are looking for people that could donate blood or plasma eventually. They're not looking for a vaccine. I mean, they're looking for a vaccine, but the chances of that coming out, even by 2021, are slim to none. There are other ways, the treatment is...
Oh, stop it.
The treatment more so for anybody that has it, because there's not a quote-unquote cure. There's not a prophylactic measure at this point, no vaccines or anything like that, is really just supportive care. So if someone if you're febrile, you have a fever, you give Tylenol. You don't take Motrin. Motrin is Tylenol, Aleve, ibuprofen, Motrin, Aleve. Don't take that, because that can actually exacerbate your symptoms. It can make your symptoms worse. So
another question we get a lot, I see a lot of people asking a lot, is the flu and COVID. It's much more contagious than the flu, right?
It's highly contagious, yes.
So, but everybody's saying, whoa, the flu kills as many people, but this has killed more people faster. Like, there's more people dying in the last 2 months.
You guys asked me to come on this show literally like 5 minutes ago, and I'm really happy to be here, but I was not ill-prepared. I was like, I'm kind of ill-prepared because...
Yeah. We're not going to hold you.
I mean, as far as with numbers, yeah, the flu kills a lot of people. RSV kills a lot of people.
Like COVID-19 has a higher rate than your standard
It's so highly
flu.
infectious.
Yeah.
It's so highly infectious. I mean, you can't... that's why the whole social distancing came about, I could be sitting here and we're hanging out, we're having a good time, and then all of a sudden you start kind of feeling crappy, or you feel, just lethargic the next couple of days later. It's like, well, why do I feel like this? And maybe I was a carrier, and that's the thing. There have been a lot of people that have been virtually asymptomatic young people. So
do you have I know that the numbers are always changing and things like that, but do you have any best estimate of what we're looking at right now in terms of? I know that's a huge.
I know
question.
you're saying Pennsylvania really hasn't peaked yet.
Yeah.
No, we haven't, and that's another thing. So, urban areas, like your hot spots initially, their numbers have gone down, and thank God they have, because these are people that are enclosed in tiny cities. They don't have anywhere to go, which is why our Patty, when she came, and she was gonna blow glass for a little while, and she stayed here, and she stayed with us in quarantine because she had to go back to a city. And, the numbers are higher there, but those numbers in certain areas are starting to slow down. But the suburban transmission, the rural transmission, our numbers,
we're not around as many people.
Yeah, our numbers are ramping up in a major, major way in the last couple of weeks.
It's like every day
and
there's
quite
frankly, 800 cases.
Yeah, and quite frankly, it's because a lot of people just don't pay attention. They don't care. And because they feel well, they go out because they're like, this doesn't concern me. One message I will convey literally is, it's not about just one person. okay, I'm cooped up in the house and I feel well and everything. But it's not about just that one person. It's about everybody. It's about your community. It's about the people that you work with, your
All right,
family.
real quick, can you get this disease from 5G network?
No. No, but 5G is probably going to wipe the bees out, which will kill life.
That's insane that you said that they burned. In England, they're burning down the 5G towers.
They had some 5G towers that were burnt down.
People think that
were convinced
the 5G
that
is
the
killing them.
conspiracy.
Oh, good for them. I'm kind of supporting them at this point because I'm just afraid it's going to kill bees.
Yeah, it's going to kill bees, so I think that's for sure.
But I'm a nurse. I don't know. But no, it's not. I don't think it's related.
So do we have better odds if we're Republican or Democrat to get it? I'm hearing
That's
a lot
a
of
trick
this. I mean, these are
question.
the things I'm hearing on Twitter. People are like, "Well, Democrats get
People
it
say
more than
that?
Republicans."
I don't have a Twitter account, so I don't know.
I think if you
mean,
go, the more
that's stupid.
large public events that you attend, you're more likely to get it. So.
There you go. Yeah, and that's the thing in the beginning. And edit this because number one, I'm nervous. I've never done this before, and then it was like a hey, Shelly, you want to be on the show? I'm like, sure, and I'm like, oh gosh, I need a drink. I need to chill out for a little bit, but. Yeah, stay at home. Like, just stay at home if you don't have to go out.
Stay at home, wear masks.
At this point, too, everyone should be covering their face or their mucous membranes. Okay, so we talk about cover your face, cover your face. Your mucous membranes are orifices in your body where things can slip in, your gums, your nose, things like, and so like you want to keep,
I was not
necessarily eyes.
No, your eyes, you
necessarily.
touch your eyes. Yeah.
And don't touch your face like I just did. But I'm just around you guys all the time for the last month. So
If I got it, she's got it. If she got it, he got it.
Yeah.
And Jeremy probably has it too. So if we got it, we all got it.
So essentially, if you can, stay at home, that's great. But aside from stay at home, social distance. When you go out and you go to the grocery store, if you have a beating heart in your chest, and you do, if you're upright and going grocery shopping, cover your face and, care about the other people that are around you that are going out for toilet paper that nobody can find, or, have respect for those people that are older or look like they maybe aren't getting around as well as you. Let them go ahead. Don't let them spend as much time in the hospital, or I'm sorry, in the store, because those are the people you're going to worry about, being on the vents and,
I do have one last question for you, and again, I know that you can't make an answer for for everything that's going on out there, but so many people, of course, are curious about when might we return to this, and I know that there's. First of all, I would imagine that the only answer is that there's going to be some results and things that are happening out there that are going to be your indicators. But what is it going to take for you to be comfortable? Because you're like us. You like to go out and have a nice meal or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I'm a foodie.
What type of qualifications are going to happen for you to be comfortable about that again? Because, I mean, if you understand there's going to be a second wave, then my inclination is, well, I'm going to be waiting until I start going to the restaurants again until after that second wave. I want to go out as much as anyone else, but what are going to be some things that will make you?
He wants to know if we're going to be able to have melt or not.
Oh, I
so
wasn't even
a
thinking
good
about
answer.
that, yeah.
A good answer to that, and I'm slowing my conversation down now because I've become a little more comfortable with this. But we're not going to determine that.
Right.
We can't set a date.
You can't know that. There's no date.
The virus is going to determine that.
Yeah.
And what determines the spread of this is the fact that people just need to hunker down and chill for a little bit.
And not spread it.
And not spread it. So we will not determine that as a Department of Health or CDC. A lot of people have bashed the World Health Organization right now, and that's very upsetting to me. We get reports from, ultimately I report to CDC. That's the bulk of what I do. Aside from COVID-19, there are 76 other communicable diseases and infectious diseases that I investigate every day. And so
how's that? You're not really getting a lot of that right now because they're not putting that on. Are they dropping that on you constantly? Or?
I had a Legionella today. There were 2 Salmonellas in there.
But now you don't physically see a lot of these people.
Generally I do, but right now, no. No, I don't. And I also treat, I know in previous episodes, I know you guys have been like, you know.
Well, the venereal disease should be way down, you'd think, just because nobody's out.
What's that?
fucking
What
each
are you
other.
talking about? Everybody's
They're
everybody's
inside. But if you're
What else do
quarantined
you
with
have to
somebody,
do?
you know, you're kind of there with them. You both probably had that shit for a while.
What are you trying to tell me?
But what I'm getting at is, so you're overwhelmed with what you're doing with this COVID stuff. But I mean,
Yeah,
are you
we
still
want to be
seeing-
anybody graduating from nursing school. If you would like to become a public health nurse, you can look us up. Well, yeah.
You need more help.
We do need more help. We do need more hands on deck.
I mean, you had like a 14-day stretch here. You're working. So
13.
13. Okay.
13. But I'm able to be at home and.
Yeah, you're home. Definitely.
But as far as with seeing other things and other,
I built her a nice little office upstairs in the room, and then she lived there for like 2 days working, and now she's in the kitchen.
I don't want to. It's
So it's like
lonely
I'm in the
up there.
kitchen, but she's on the phone, and I can't make any noise.
Well, look, going back to we're not gonna go here.
That's what people want to see. They want
No.
to see some domestic violence.
Okay.
Don't they, Red?
And that's the thing.
You
it's
want to see
crap.
it. He wants
That's
to see us
crap.
argue.
And it's interesting
let's
too
fight.
because one of the other things I did I've been a SANE nurse since 2009. That's a sexual assault nursing examiner. Nobody wants to see any DV. Nobody wants to see any domestic violence. You're crazy. You're crazy.
That's exactly what people want to see. Only people that come on Instagram, they want to see some people making art, or they want to see chicks with underwear. That's really all.
Or
they
people
wanna see.
fighting.
Or people fighting. Yeah, they want to see. fist
Really?
fights. Yeah, for sure.
Fist fights.
Anything that's violence or disturbing. That's like, damn, I want to see that.
Disputes.
It's exciting.
I hope at the end of all of this. Well, what about our sparring rounds? Like we have those. That's
We can do that.
you want to do it now?
Jeremy can film that. We can go in the backyard.
Sorry.
I knocked her out one time.
No, you didn't. You did not. Oh my gosh, you're crazy.
All right. Well, hey, we'll let you go. I know you got to go back to work.
Yeah.
We thank you for coming
Thanks-
on and
thanks for
talking to
having
us
me.
for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, my wife Michelle.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
guys.
Michelle. Yeah, thank
All right.
you.
Everybody stay safe and be well.
Yeah.
Cheers.